Are you over 50 and value your peace, privacy, and independence? You're not alone. But here's something most people won't tell you. Your ability to protect these things depends on knowing what not to share. In today's video, we're talking about 7 secrets that every senior should quietly keep to stay in control of their life. Whether it's your finances, health, or family matters, some things are simply better kept close to the chest. We'll go through 7 practical and empowering tips that help you avoid unnecessary stress, protect your boundaries, and maintain your independence as you age. Let's get into it. As you get older, protecting your financial information becomes more important than ever. Your pension, retirement savings, Social Security benefits, or even what you've tucked away in the bank are all deeply personal details. And while it may seem natural to share these things with close family or friends, it's often better to keep them private unless there's a clear reason to disclose them. Why? Because money, no matter how much or how little, is one of the most common causes of conflict, even within loving families. Sharing too much about your finances can lead to unwanted advice, expectations, or even pressure. For example, if family members know you've saved a certain amount, they might start making assumptions about what you should do with that money, whether it's helping with bills, giving gifts, or covering unexpected costs. While generosity is wonderful, it should always be on your terms, not someone else's expectations. Moreover, there's also the unfortunate reality that seniors are often targeted for financial scams or taken advantage of by those closest to them. Sharing financial details with too many people increases the chances of that information being misused, even unintentionally. You don't have to be secretive or suspicious, just cautious and mindful. Trust is important, but so is maintaining healthy boundaries. It's a good idea to have 1 or 2 trusted individuals, like a spouse, legal power of attorney, or financial advisor, who know the essential information in case of emergencies. Outside of that, you don't owe anyone an explanation about your finances. Not your adult children, not your neighbors, not your friends. Also, think twice before discussing things like the exact value of your home, recent investments, or how much you receive monthly. Casual conversations can easily lead to gossip or judgment, and it's better to keep those numbers to yourself. Maintaining privacy over your financial life is not about being secretive. It's about protecting your independence and making sure your money continues to serve your needs first. You've worked hard for what you have. Guard it wisely, and share it only with people you trust completely and when absolutely necessary. When it comes to planning what happens to your assets after you're gone, it's completely natural to think about sharing your intentions with family. After all, it's your legacy, and you may feel a desire to be transparent or even generous. But here's the truth: openly discussing inheritance plans too early, or too often, can unintentionally create confusion, resentment, or even conflict among your loved ones. You might believe that talking openly will prevent problems, but in many cases, it can do the opposite. People may begin to form expectations. Some might feel entitled, others might feel left out, even if that was never your intention. And what if your plans change later on? Life is unpredictable. Your financial situation, your relationships, or even your perspective on who should receive what can shift over time. If you've already told someone they're getting something, changing that plan down the line can lead to hard feelings or broken trust. Keeping your inheritance decisions private allows you the freedom to adjust them as needed, without pressure or guilt. It also helps you avoid unnecessary emotional strain or family drama. For example, siblings can end up arguing over what's fair, even if your decisions are perfectly reasonable from your point of view. And in some cases, early knowledge of inheritance can affect how people treat you, whether consciously or not. That said, this doesn't mean you should hide everything forever. It's important to have legal documents in place: a will, a power of attorney, and possibly a trust. Work with an estate planner or attorney to ensure your wishes are clearly documented and legally protected. If you do choose to discuss parts of your plan with someone, make sure it's someone you deeply trust, someone who respects your decisions and won't pressure or influence you. At the end of the day, your inheritance is a personal matter. You've earned the right to make those decisions in peace, without interference or outside opinions. Keeping your plans private, until it's truly necessary to share, is a powerful way to protect your peace, maintain control over your legacy, and prevent unnecessary tension among your loved ones. Remember, it's your life, your assets, and your choice. As we get older, it's natural to experience more health-related issues. Whether it's joint pain, blood pressure changes, or a chronic condition that needs monitoring. And while it's important to stay on top of your health and communicate with your doctor, there's also wisdom in not sharing every detail with everyone around you. Oversharing health concerns, especially minor or routine issues, can lead to unintended consequences. Family members may begin to worry excessively. Friends might start treating you differently, and you might find yourself being perceived as frail or dependent, even when you're perfectly capable of managing your life. Of course, serious conditions that affect your safety or daily function should be shared with a trusted loved one or caregiver. Having someone aware of critical information like medications, allergies, or a diagnosis like diabetes or heart disease can be life-saving in an emergency. But constantly talking about every ache, doctor visit, or test result can create a sense of helplessness for both you and those around you. It can also change the way others interact with you. You might find that your family starts making decisions for you instead of with you, assuming you're not up to the task. Or you might be left out of certain plans because people think you're not well enough to participate. Even with the best intentions, people can begin to see you as your condition, not as the vibrant, capable person you still are. Instead, choose your conversations carefully. Speak openly and honestly with your healthcare providers, and confide in one or two trusted people who can support you when it truly matters. But when it comes to casual conversations with friends, extended family, or acquaintances, it's perfectly okay to say, "I'm doing fine, thanks," and leave it at that. By limiting how much you share about your health, you maintain a sense of dignity, control, and independence. You also send a powerful message to others that you are more than just your age or medical history. You are a whole person with interests, wisdom, and strength. Taking care of your health is vital, but so is protecting your peace of mind. Share wisely, and only when it truly serves your well-being. In today's digital world, protecting your personal information is more important than ever, especially as you get older. Your passwords, logins, and private account details are the keys to your financial life, medical records, and even your personal conversations. And while it may seem helpful or even necessary to share this information with family or friends, it's usually best to keep it limited to only the most trusted individuals, and only when absolutely needed. You might think, "I trust my children, what's the harm?" But even well-meaning loved ones can accidentally put your information at risk. A misplaced paper with your login details, a weak password stored on someone else's phone, or simply forgetting to log out of your accounts can expose your private data to hackers, scams, or even identity theft. Unfortunately, seniors are one of the most targeted age groups for cybercrime. Criminals know that older adults often have retirement savings and are less familiar with modern digital security. That's why protecting your passwords and access information is a form of self-defense and a way to stay in control of your life. Start by using strong, unique passwords for important accounts like your online banking, email, and healthcare portals. Avoid using simple combinations like your birthday or 13456. Instead, create complex passwords and consider using a secure password manager to store them safely. These tools can remember your logins so you don't have to write them down or store them in unprotected places. If you ever do need to share access with someone, perhaps a spouse or a legal power of attorney, make sure it's someone you trust completely. Even then, give them access only to what they need, not everything. For example, if they help with paying bills, they don't need to know the password to your social media accounts or private emails. Also, be cautious of phone calls, texts, or emails asking for your passwords or verification codes. No legitimate organization will ask for those things over the phone or via message. Protecting your passwords isn't about being paranoid. It's about being smart. You've built a life of independence, and guarding your digital access helps you keep it. Treat your personal logins like house keys. Only give them out when absolutely necessary, and keep them stored safely. As we grow older, it's only natural to reflect on our past. Decisions we made, paths we didn't take, or relationships that didn't turn out the way we hoped. Everyone has regrets. And many families have moments of tension, unresolved hurt, or disagreements that left a lasting mark. But one of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself in your later years is the ability to let go quietly. Not by suppressing the pain, but by choosing not to reopen old wounds unnecessarily. Sharing personal regrets or rehashing past family conflicts often feels like a release in the moment. You might think, "I need to say this now, before it's too late," or "They need to know how I felt back then." But too often, bringing up old issues, especially if the other person sees the past differently, can spark more pain than healing. What you intended as honesty might be taken as blame. What you meant as closure might be met with resistance or denial. Sometimes, it's better to process those emotions privately or with the help of a counselor, therapist, or trusted friend who won't get entangled in the emotions of the past. Opening up to someone objective can help you unpack lingering feelings without reigniting old battles. If a conflict still affects your day-to-day life or deeply burdens your heart, then yes, address it calmly and directly with the person involved if they're open to it. But if it's something that's already been said, misunderstood, or no longer changeable, you have every right to release it for your own peace of mind. Regret is part of being human, but it doesn't have to define your present. You are not your past decisions, and you don't owe anyone explanations for every chapter of your life. Instead of revisiting what can't be changed, focus on what you can do now, nurture healthy relationships, protect your joy, and live the way you choose. By keeping certain regrets and past conflicts private, you protect your emotional energy and your relationships in the present. You create room for peace, not pain. And most importantly, you send a message to yourself: my future deserves more attention than my past. Over the course of a lifetime, most of us have had a mix of relationships. Some loving, some complicated, and some we'd rather forget. From first loves to painful breakups, marriage, divorce, or lost partners, your romantic past is part of your story. But just because it's part of your past doesn't mean it needs to be part of your present conversations. Sharing too much about former relationships, especially with children, grandchildren, or newer family members, can sometimes do more harm than good. While you may be trying to offer life lessons or speak from experience, what others hear might be judgment, bitterness, or even regret. Sometimes people, especially the younger generation, may not fully understand the context of the times you lived in, the decisions you had to make, or the emotions you carried. What was meaningful or painful for you could come across differently than you intended. Romantic history is also deeply personal. Talking openly about former spouses, partners, or romantic missteps can stir up old emotions or unintentionally hurt those around you. For example, your children may have a very different view of your past marriage than you do, and sharing the painful side of it might alter their own memories or feelings. Or if you're in a new relationship now, bringing up old romances too often can create unnecessary tension or comparison. This doesn't mean you should hide your past or pretend things didn't happen. But it does mean being selective and thoughtful about what, when, and with whom you share. Some memories are best kept private, cherished silently or processed internally. Others might be best shared in writing, like a personal journal or legacy letter, rather than brought up in casual conversation. Remember, your identity isn't defined by past relationships. You are who you are because of how you've grown, healed, and moved forward. Protecting the privacy of your romantic past is another way of protecting your dignity and your peace. Not everything needs to be explained, justified, or discussed. Some stories are meant for your heart alone. In the end, guarding the details of past romances helps you stay focused on the life you're building now, and ensures your present relationships, no matter what they are, aren't overshadowed by the past. As we move through different seasons of life, especially after 50, new ideas and possibilities can emerge. Maybe you're thinking about moving to a smaller home, starting a new hobby, taking a long trip, or even entering a new relationship. These are all exciting, life-affirming thoughts. But when those plans are still uncertain or in the maybe stage, it's often wise to keep them private, at least for a little while. Why? Because sharing plans before they're fully formed can invite a flood of opinions, doubts, or even discouragement from others. People might say things like, "Are you sure that's a good idea at your age?" Or, "What if it doesn't work out?" While they may mean well, those kinds of responses can easily shake your confidence, especially when you're still figuring things out. When you talk about something before you're emotionally ready or practically prepared, you open yourself up to outside influences that can make your decision process more difficult. You may start questioning yourself not because you are unsure, but because someone else's words created doubt. And if you end up changing your mind or postponing the idea, you might feel like you've disappointed others or yourself. By keeping uncertain plans to yourself, you give them space to grow quietly. You give yourself room to think things through, research your options, and trust your instincts. Once you've reached clarity, once your decision feels settled and right, you can choose to share it with others from a place of strength and calm, not hesitation. This applies to both big and small changes. Whether you're exploring retirement, considering selling your home, or simply thinking of switching doctors, wait until you feel certain before inviting others into that decision. You are the one living your life. No one else is walking in your shoes. Protecting your peace doesn't mean hiding things forever. It means allowing your thoughts and dreams to unfold without pressure, noise, or judgment. When your plans are fully baked, you'll know exactly how and when to share them. Until then, let them live safely in your heart. After all, not every idea needs an audience. Some simply need quiet space to become real. If you found this helpful, please tap the like button. It really helps our channel reach more seniors like you. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss another video on aging well, staying strong, and living your best life after 50. And let us know in the comments which of these secrets do you agree with most. You've earned your peace, privacy, and freedom. Don't let anyone take that away. By holding on to these small but powerful secrets, you stay in charge of your life and your happiness. Stay well, and we'll see you in the next video.